Here we discuss short introduction of dropshipping and 5 hard truths about dropshipping. Dropshipping is an order fulfillment method that does not require a business to keep products in stock. Instead, the store sells the product and passes on the sales order to a third party supplier who, who then ships the order to be a. However, contrary to popular belief, the dropshipping business model is not a get rich quick scheme. Sure, it seems like easy money. You sell other people's goods and take a cut of yourself. But when you factor in all the drawbacks, obstacles, and day to day management, it's far from easy and you can be hard work. If your approach it the right way, though, dropshipping can still help you build a successful business, just not as quickly as you have hoped. From pros and cons of dropshipping to the right approaches, and from the best dropshipping companies to FAQs, here's everything you need to know before you start dropshipping on your e-commerce platform. Here we discuss 5 hard truths about dropshipping. If you have a business owner looking to ship products for your online store, that is a traditional retail business selling t-shirts without the hassles of having to stock the inventory yourself or potentially add new products. The dropshipping model can be a solution and most importantly by beneficially to an e-commerce store. After a customer orders sometimes online, the dropshipping business then ships the product straight to the customer. It's a way for large companies and small companies alike to source products while making a little money and saving some storage space at the same time. This is easier said than done, of course. So, before you put all of your savings into a dropshipping store, here are some things you need to know on why it can be difficult. The first hard truth about dropshipping is low profit rate. Sure, since you don't have to manage a store your own inventory, to overhead it is low, but so are the returns. You put less money in but you get less money out. That means you have to do a lot of business just to stay afloat, let alone turn a profit, especially considered most of the money goes to the supplier. These low margins are hardly enough to cover your expense and operating cost for marketing, advertising, maintaining your site include search engine optimization, SEO, managing sales order and covering your office hours. You can predict your income using these variables. They have averages, so they will change depending on your industry and situation. 20% margin or 2% conversion rate. You can then calculate a working estimate using this question. While this is fine for a quick starting estimate, there are a few problems you also have to consider. Your discount on buying from manufacturers and wholesales could be less than 20%. This does not account for any of the additional expense mentioned above that you have to pay from your needs. It's not the final profit. For most products, you will have to cut into your profits to keep your sales price competitive. If you stubbornly hold on the your 20% margin, their companies can undercut you. On top of that, you will notice that your profit is also largely determined by your traffic. So if you have building an e-commerce brand from on platforms such as big e-commerce and Shopify, you will be struggling for a long time as you build a client base. Although it seems hands off, dropshippers always have to deal with their wholesale suppliers, order processing, returns, and customer service. It's much more reasonable to approach dropshipping when you already have a regular source of traffic. The second truth about dropshipping is highly competitive. There will always be overlay optimized entrepreneurs who focus solely on the low overhead part and ignore the clear evidence above. Because very little capital is required to start a dropshipping business, that low barrier to enter means as lot of fuzzy competition, with the most popular market suffering more than others. Basically, the bigger a company is, the more they can reduce their markups at low price. To make matters worse, chances are you don't have an exclusive deal with your suppliers. That means any number of competitors could be selling your exact same products. And if you have just starting out as a small business, your rivals with years of experience have the resources. You do not redirect your prices. That means potential customers can buy the exact same thing from something else of cheaper. Why would they buy from you? The third hard truth about dropshipping is no control over the supply chain. In standard e-commerce, if customers complain your product quarterly, fulfillment speed or return policies, you can address the problem yourself. In dropshipping store, owners are more or less at the mercy of their suppliers, but you have the one who still has to take to your customers directly. Dropshippers are essentially taped, doing little more than hopping the supplier addresses, the problem while simultaneously recurring the customer about sometimes that's out of their control. On top of that, there is also a delay in communication as the dropshippers goes back and forth between the customer and their suppliers. If one answers slowly, all communications grinds to a half and the problems take longer to fix. And if they have vocal about it, including on social media, those bad reviews early on could end your business before it even starts. And the fourth truth is that legal liability issues. Although this is not a common problem of dropshippers, it's worth monitoring. Some suppliers are not as legitimate as they claim, and you don't always know where the merchandise comes from. Even more deceptive is when suppliers illegally use a trademark logo or another company's incorrectly property, which happens more than average. This potential problem can be rectified with a solid dropshipping agreement contract. But not every dropshipping upstart knows that. It's something you will want to keep in mind when choosing suppliers. The fifth hard truth about dropshipping is difficult to build a brand. Like ghostwriters or behind the scenes songwriters, dropshippers must understand that the credit of their work goes to someone else. If whatever product you have selling is so amazing, your customer are going to focus mostly on the product's brand and forget about the shopping experience entirely. After all, it is not your logo on the box. Again, that's just another reason why dropshipping makes more sense for already established brand than new ones. And in the next video tutorial, we discuss about right approaches to dropshipping. Thank you.